MD Prepper here, discussing safety concerns regarding shooting 300 Blackout rounds when you're running a 5.56 as well. Theoretically, it is possible for a 300 Blackout round to chamber in a 5.56 barrel upper. That's a problem. A 30 caliber bullet going down a 22 caliber barrel is not going to end well. Very dangerous situation there. Now, hopefully, if you ever screw those up, and hopefully you won't, it won't ignite the round when you pull the trigger. But there's a few safety precautions that I personally take just to make sure that doesn't happen. First and foremost, I mark all of my ammo containers with duct tape. If you've seen the previous video on that, I've got a different color for every caliber. So I use green for the 5.56 rounds because the green tips just reminds me of it. Easier way to do things. And so I've chosen this kind of a, I don't know, carbon fiber look, I guess I'd call that, for the 300 Blackout, because it is so different. My others are all primary colors and reds, well, not primary colors, but solid colors. This is the only pattern I've got, so this is going to make things stand out a little bit. Here's one of my ammo cans, right there. Okay, I don't have to write 300 Blackout on it because I know what the color is. There's only 300 Blackout in there. That's all I keep in there. Another thing is I keep the ammo stored separately. I don't store 5.56 and 300 Blackout in the same area, just so I don't have any kind of screw-up confusion. Next, I only take one of the rifles to the range shooting. I make the decision, am I going to shoot 5.56 or am I going to shoot 300 Blackout? If I'm shooting 300 Blackout, I'm only shooting 300 Blackout, at least as far as AR-15 platforms go. May have a bolt rifle or handguns, etc., but this is the way I run it. So no chance, you know, I'm only taking the 300 Blackout, I'm only taking 300 Blackout ammo. Shouldn't have a problem. When I shoot 5.56, same holds, so I never mix and match, so there's no chance of screwing up or somebody else who's shooting with me not knowing and making that mistake. So another thing I do is dedicated magazines. I only use one type of magazine in my 300 Blackout rifle, and that's this MSAR, I don't know what it's called, but magazine. It's polymer. 30 rounds, 40. They come in different colors. If you won't even do that, I bought some tan ones, which would even stand out more because I don't have tan magazines normally, or flat darkers, whatever they're called, Coyote. So I got those for cheap on CDNN. This company is no longer in business, but they make good magazines. Like I said, they are in business, but they just don't make magazines anymore. This one is specifically marked 7.62 by 35, which a lot of other magazines out there are not. So that's a plus there. I've not had any feeding issues with magazines in 300 Blackout. So, but I just use this magazine. It feels different than my other mags. It feels different in the hand than a P mag or a USGI mag or Troy Battle mag or whatever I might be running in my 5.56 rifles. So there's another precaution. You could always tape these things up with the same tape if you wanted to. I may probably do that in the future. It's probably a good idea. Just set it apart in case there's somebody else running the rifle. Another thing you can do, and I obviously have not done, is dust cover. You can have 300 Blackout put on there and order that way. I would probably not go to the trouble of that. Obviously I haven't, just because I don't look at my dust cover. That's not usually what I'm looking at when I'm chambering around. May help somebody else. Whatever. What I thought was really more worth the money was the charging handle here for 300 Blackout, because that's the last thing that I'm going to be grabbing for when I'm chambering around to start shooting my initial range session. So hopefully I'm going to see that 300 Blackout and it'll make sense in my brain. If you're real worried, you could also get the same for 5.56 and do the same on your 5.56 ARs. You know, it's whatever you want to do. But you really do need to be careful because almost everybody who's running 300 Blackout's got 5.56. I don't keep the rifles in the same location. So those are my safety precautions. That's what I'm doing. If you've got any better ideas out there, let me hear them. MD Prepper out.